Hi, everyone. Hello, I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you. I have a question. One of our client asked, which state should I go for the PR? So what is the answer? Which state should we go? Uh, if in your mind, one of the state where you want to go, try to avoid it because many people want the same answer. Okay. If everyone want to go to the Queensland, try to avoid. The second preference is New South Wales. Don't go to New South Wales because when you start the course now, when you finish it 2 years later, 2 years later already COVID-19 is gone. So it means before the pandemic 2019 in New South Wales 2019 is very difficult to get the state sponsorship. So now it may be better situation, but your course will end in after 2 years. Okay, you need to think about it. So then which state? So okay, I will show you. Let's see. Probably maybe I can show you only 2 states because in the New South Wales, Queensland is difficult, and also Tasmania already. The Tasmania is very small, and but lots of people there. So already they always say what they say. No guarantee to give the invitation, even you finish all the requirements. Okay, so I'm focusing on South Australia and Victoria. Okay, if you see South Australia, the motor mechanic, okay, the motor mechanic, okay, maybe you cannot see, okay, let's see, bigger. Okay, if you see motor mechanic in the South Australia, right, the eligible, if you are working close related occupation, is a motor mechanic for at least 12 months in outer regional Australia, South Australia. And also if you apply 491 and then you must work 12 months or 6 months above in the regional South Australia. Okay, but how about the Victoria? In the Victoria 491, what they say? In the last 3 months, you must be continuously employed in your nominated occupation. So can you see the difference? How about the Queensland? Queensland is now closed. New South Wales is open, but they always say priority list can be assessed. So it's not. Okay. So what I believe is if you choose the which state should I study, I recommend the South Australia or Victoria, but Victoria is a more better position than South Australia. But like the Victoria now, because it affected the COVID-19 a lot, and many people already left it. Okay, and the Victoria now they want to change the occupation list, and then motor mechanic will be there. So you better thinking about this in the future in 2 years later. Okay, and also immigration already opened the report about the Australian skilled program. Okay, I will talk about this one. Okay, this is a report from the Commonwealth Australia Parliament. This is the Australian skilled migration. And then they said, because this is committee member, they suggest what Australia should consider about Australian skilled migration program. Okay, this is a okay. Now due to the COVID-19, Australia workforce affected 94%, and then 500 thousands temporary visa holder left Australia. So what happened? The New South Wales, half of business they cannot find the employee, and then West Australia 36% of they cannot find it. And some like the territory they cannot find the staff at all for 3 to 6 months. So there is a very huge significant challenge to them. So the now Australia understand it. So they thinking about, okay, what should we do after COVID-19? So what is the economic challenge? So what they thinking about, we need to solving this problem using the Australian skill migration program. Okay, so there is a recommendation. Okay, in the recommendation, what they said, the committee recommended immigration conduct urgent review of priority migrant skill occupation list. Priority migrant skill occupation in the what what occupation they should change it. What they said, expanding. The better reflect the urgent skill shortage in where civil engineering, electric engineering, motor mechanic, and cook, carpenter, and so on. So the motor mechanic will be in the priority list, and because due to the COVID-19, there is an urgent skill shortage in the motor mechanic. So if you study motor mechanic, your future will be very bright. And also, there are many chances to apply the PR. And also, what the committee members suggest the immigration is the committee recommend all employee-sponsored visa holders be given a clear pathway to permanent residency. So there will be in the July 2021 there will be regulation changes. So you will see how the motor mechanic will be benefited for that. Okay. So my answer is, if you want to study the motor mechanic, it is one of the good occupation in Australia now. And also, if you want to choose which state is better, I believe, okay, the Queensland is very difficult. And New South Wales, many people popular, so try not to go. And then I recommend South Australia or Victoria is better than other state. Okay, why? Because Victoria only requires 3 months residency. In the South Australia requires 6 months or 12 months. Do you understand? So, but when you finish your courses, it may change a little bit longer than 3 months, but still the Victoria and South Australia much better position compared to the another state. Okay, so when you must think about not now only, because during COVID-19 they cannot find the employer. Yes, true. And also it is a better time to study as soon as possible. Because why? Because the Scott Morrison mentioned they will open the border, right, middle of 2020 possibly, and the international student can come maybe late 2021 or normally from 2022. So what means? If you study now, you are much ahead of the other students. So when you finish your courses, not many people are graduating. So in the job market, you are advanced position. Then you will higher chance to get the permanent residency compared to others. If you study from next year, maybe lots of people will start at the same time. So I strongly recommend study as soon as possible. And also the motor mechanic is good in the occupation list. And also if you want to choose which state is better, I strongly recommend the South Australia or Victoria is better. 여기에 I speak in Korean a little bit. 여기 한국 분도 계실 것 같은데요. 그 현재 이민성에서 지금 그 의견을 청취하는데 국회에서 의견을 청취하는데 국회에서는 뭐라고 했냐면 이민위원회에서는 이민성은 이제 많은 고용주들이 사람을 못 구하기 때문에 기술 이민자를 받기 위해서는 그들에게 영주권을 가는 길을 명확하게 해줘야 될 필요가 있다. 두 번째가 뭐냐면 특히 어떤 직업군에게는 심각한 기술 이민자 부족이 생기는데 그 중에 하나가 모터 메카닉이다. 네, 그런 거예요. 그래서 이걸 공부하면은 향후에 오큐페이션 리스트가 빠지거나 이럴 일이 전혀 없습니다. 두 번째 뭐냐면 그럼 우리가 언제 공부를 해야 되냐면 현재 연방정부는 2022년도에 보도를 열 생각이에요. 그러면 어떻게 되냐면 그때부터 학생 비자가 많이 들어오겠죠. 근데 모터 메카닉은 실습이 필요하기 때문에 입국을 하지 못하면은 공부를 할 수가 없어요. 그래서 여러분이 호주 안에 있다면 최대한 빨리 공부하는 것이 가장 좋습니다. 왜? 그래야지 내가 졸업할 때 경쟁자가 많이 없어져요. 네. 두 번째 또 뭐냐면 그러면 어떤 주를 선택하는 게 가장 좋냐고는 질문을 던졌는데 퀸슬랜드는 지금 현재 사람들이 너무 많이 입국이 들어와서 집값이 너무 상승이 됐어요. 그래서 사람들이 필요가 없어서 그 요구 조건을 보면은 거의 3년 이렇게 요구해요. 3년을. 그 말이 안 되죠. 근데 지금 현재 뉴사우스 웨일즈도 사람들이 그 뉴사우스 웨일즈로 들어와서 가긴 하는데 문제점이 뭐냐면 뉴사우스 웨일즈는 2019년도에는 거의 주정부수법 같은 경우 뭐 오픈하면 1시간 만에 종료가 돼요. 너무 많이 신청해야죠. 따라서 뉴사우스 웨일즈도 사람들이 세컨 타입 두 번째 좋아한다기 때문에 좀 피하는 게 좋고 제 생각에 애들레이드나 빅토리아가 좋은데 현재 애들레이드 같은 경우는 12개월 정도의 애들레이드에서 일한 걸 요구하고 빅토리아주 같은 경우는 3개월 정도인데 따라서 현재 가장 사람이 없는 데는 결과적으로 빅토리아 주겠죠. 그래서 여러분이 만약 공부를 시작한다면 빅토리아주나 애들레이드가 여러분의 선택지가 되는 것이 그나마 여러분의 미래에 영주권을 준비하는 데 도움이 되지 않을까 생각이 듭니다. 네, 곧 선생님께서 이제 그러면은 이제 모터 메카닉에 대해서 이제 학과에 대해서 좀 설명을 할게요. 뭘 배우는지, 그리고 뭐 어떤 부분들이 여러분들이 공부를 할 때 뭐 이렇게 도움이 되는지에 대해 설명을 할 겁니다.
Okay, the automotive course we got here, it's driven by the industry in general, which is the industry here, driven by the need of the workforce, which is lead to the to be working on the dealership, local garages, and other area related to the automotive services and repairs. They used to be like manufacturers, not anymore here, but more like a services we deal with. And our courses include certificate 3 and certificate 4 in the diploma courses. Certificate 3 will prepare the student to be a qualified mechanics, which is they could open their own garages, or they work with someone, or they work at a level of a dealership, which is service and repair. The certificate 3, it includes understanding the environment around the automotive area, which is covered by numbers of subjects, and the sustainability and safety required for the industry or to be as a motor mechanics. And then the student will go through a journey of studying some unit, which is studying, let's say, for example, the electrical units, and they understand the electrical units from the basic to the advanced area on a vehicle. So we expose the student from the basic principle to the advanced area, and they need to understand what's going on in a vehicle and how to apply the repair and how to deal with the repair in regard the subject. The other area, which is repairing as a mechanical repair, which is due to a fault or any problems with the engine, and starting from the basic things dealing with the accessories on engine and how to repair and how to remove and refit or overhaul an engine, which is involve a lot of things here, which is the student, they need to learn measurement and measuring tools and equipment they use, and other mathematical formulas, let's say for ratio of the engine, and other things include this. In general, we provide the students with the required knowledge to start in the industry. The certificate 4, after that, they complete the certificate 3. Certificate 4 provide them with another level, which is higher level, more for diagnosis, and they become as a master technician in this area, which is they learn how to troubleshooting and doing diagnosis in a lot of areas, let's say engine, electrical, computers, like cars, of course, driven by today ECU and CAN system. So they learn through using modern tools and using scan tools or other computers, which is available for those vehicles to obtain the reading as a data or other code, which is we could find. And again, we could move to the diploma level. Diploma level, it's a higher level, which is at a final level, and that could use as a pathway for university. They could study engineering, and we got available in Victoria here, RMIT. They provide automotive engineering course, which is a degree, 4 years degrees, and they could end with probably, or possible, they could end with a credit transfer. They have to check actually with the university. in regard to that. But that opened the door for them to as a pathway for engineering degree when they complete the diploma in automotive and mechanical technology. So that's a course here, which is we offer. And we offer the course in 93 Queensbridge Street. And the course, of course, the duration for the course from Certificate 3 and Certificate 4 is different. The longest one, which is Certificate 3, which is 36 units, they have to study. And Certificate 4, which is a shorter, it's 10 units, and the Diploma 12 units. That's the difference between it. And other information regarding the enrollment or how they enroll for the course, they could ask the agent or you could provide them with the information. Look, work placement, I just want to clarify a few things here. Regarding the work placement is going to be really, we don't arrange a work placement as a school, and there is any arrangement between you and a student regarding the work placement. I don't believe there is include the contracts or our contract with the student. There is any worker placement available for the student in that, but we could support them and we could guide them through the industry, and we got a good connection with the industry as individual, as a trainers, or as we people specialize on industry. We could guide them and we could provide them with the references, which is the required. Sometimes quite I got a lot of students, they employed by a dealership and they prove themselves, they could do the job, and they're really passionate about what they, about this area. And we give them recommendation, and I provide them personally with the support letters about the student ability and what they could achieve. And they employed I got a number of students they employ in a local workshop and dealer. For example, I got a couple of students employed by Volvo, South Yarra, and some employed by Honda, some employed by Ravitune, some employed by other local garages here around. And they got no problems to find the work here on the country, to be honest. I can't see any problems. As long as the student, they understand what they could demonstrate, or they could end with a handy skill. The important here, the student, they have to develop some handy skill, so they could be able to do the task correctly and ethically. You ask another question regarding the duration, you said, or something else? What's the question? Sorry, I didn't get it.
Course duration, I can answer. Certificate, certificate 3, 64 weeks, include the holiday.
Yes.
Certificate 4 duration is 30 weeks, include the holidays. Diploma, 41 weeks, include the holidays. And also we have the package course for students, certificate 3 plus certificate 4, 97 weeks. Second package course is certificate 3 plus certificate 4 plus diploma, 137 weeks. Include the holidays. And also the if students want to know the course price, students can visit the Baxter website. If go to the baxter.vic.edu.au, click the courses, international automotive, you will find the flyer course price there.
Yeah, and I believe one of the question he raised, the admin, regard the course delivery. The course delivery, it's a blending between theories and practical. The theories cover, which is normally theoreticals area, which is cover a lot of, let's say, video, PowerPoint presentation, and some class activity, some class discussion, and all these areas will be undertaken during the theory. And theory, we rely on resources, which is our resource book, which is Automotive Technology. This book designed and approved by the industry, and the student, they will receive this book, and that's to cover the theory area. The practical, during the practical, which is we prefer to have a practical half and half, which is theory and blending, and a practical. Every unit or every subject require a practical, which whatever they learn and we discuss over the theory classes, they're going to go into the workshop, and practically they could practice bit by bit. Let's say, for example, I give you, if I teach today for my student about braking system. So first I provide them with the information regarding braking system and how the brake system work, and all the details involved to for the knowledge, which is a student they need as a background knowledge. So when they go to the workshop, they could practice, and then we could guide them at the workshop how to remove and refit, let's say, brake pads, the disc routers, and how to identify there is a problems with the brake system, how to identify the type of brake system. And of course, there is a difference from between vehicles. Let's say if it's four-wheel drive vehicles, different, a normal sedan different, disc brakes, drum brakes different. And we have to, with each unit or with each practice, we have to follow the manufacturer specification and the industry requirement here, and of course the environment in same times, and a workshop procedure. So we teach them all this area. It's a combined in with the practicals, and the practicals more hands-on. So the student physically, they're going to remove the brakes and refit it, and we show them that first. The trainers, they will demonstrate how to remove the things and how to fit it, and the trainers always for the individual need. If they require further, we could always provide them with the further assistance. Any question regarding the practical again?
And we can organize the students the campus too. If any students interested want to see the campus, and
yes, yeah. If any student interested on even I never mind. I could, if you have a group of students, I could go through with them face to face, and they could feel comfortable even 601 or inside the class. And I could show them further about the I could prepare like a presentation inside the class on what they're going to learn and how we're going to expose them to the learning environment. And I could take them to the workshop, and I could show them what we do exactly in the workshop, and I could guide them through the course. I got no problem with that at any time.
Thank you, Donis.
You're welcome.